What up, man? It's your boy Canton Jones. You're listening to Track Stars Live, because we track stars. You keep on track with Jesus Christ all day, every day.
Yep. All right, you back in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. All right, so, man, it's been a crazy week in the NFL and sports in general, honestly. Yeah. But specifically Ray Rice. If you haven't heard yet, Ray Rice was caught on video dragging his then fiance out of an elevator. So they both got arrested on misdemeanor charges. His stuck. He got kind of plead out to like a anger management type curriculum he had to do, and the NFL ended up suspending him 2 games. All right, so there was a big uproar after that saying, how could you only suspend somebody 2 games when it's obvious he did something to his fiance? They ended up getting married in there somewhere. And then Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, came and said, I made a mistake. So he instituted this new policy. First offense, 6 games. Second offense, indefinite. Right? So that was okay for a little while. And then about a week ago, a video came out. TMZ released the other part of the video from inside the elevator, where it starts actually while they're walking up to the elevator, and from what I saw, it looked like Ray Rice spit on her. Yeah. She kind of swiped at his face. They kept walking. They went into the elevator. He spit on her again. She swiped at his face again. He decked her with the left. She lunged at him. He decked her with the left again. Her head hit the rail on the ground. Yeah. And then he kind of just lets her lie there until the doors open. That's when it picks up from what you saw earlier in the year. So immediately after that, the Ravens kicked him off the team. I missed a step. In between there, the Ravens actually held like this thing in honor of him where they stood behind him, like kind of like, we're with you, we support you. 2 games is fine, and then you're still our boy. All the Ravens people cheered for him. He played in the preseason, so they were supporting him. When the video got released, they cut him. Yeah. And then, like about an hour after that, the NFL suspended him indefinitely for some reason. So now Roger Goodell started getting under fire because it's like, why are you suspending him now when he told you what happened in the elevator? Why do you need to see it? All right. And then Roger Goodell went on CBS News with somebody and basically said, we never saw it. We asked for it. They wouldn't give it to us. Nobody in our office saw the video. And then the next day, the AP reported that the police did send them the video, and somebody said, yeah, we got it. It's terrible. So there's a lot going on right now with Mr. Goodell. People calling for his job. They're doing an investigation, kind of a little weird, shoddy investigation, but they're doing one. So that all happened because of what happened with Ray Rice. Now, there's a couple questions that came up. Do you feel like Ray Rice deserved to get suspended indefinitely? How do you feel it raised concerns about domestic violence? A lot of people have been talking on TV about domestic violence recently, and on Twitter, some people foolishly, like your boy Paul George said something crazy. Stephen A. Smith been popping off this week. I don't really feel what he's been saying. So it's causing like this big stir. And recently they played a game, and there were women wearing the Ray Rice jersey at the game. Like, this is the 2 ends of it. You can't touch a woman like that, or if she ain't doing nothing, I ain't doing nothing. Those are the 2 themes I've been hearing. And the people who say the other theme are getting crucified. Now, do they have a point, or are they justly crucified when you say something like that?
What do you mean if she ain't doing nothing, I ain't doing nothing?
Paul George pretty much said, I don't condone somebody hitting a woman, but if she ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. Yikes. Stephen A. Smith kind of got in trouble a while ago. He actually got suspended for about a week because he said, if you don't provoke the person, then there won't be no problems. So he got in trouble for that. That was a big deal. So there seems like there's 2 themes of thought. You can't hit a woman, or don't hit the guy if you don't want to get hit. You hit me, I'm going to hit you type attitude. So what do you think about that?
I think it's both. Yeah. Like, you keep your hands to yourself. That one, but you don't hit women, period. But I think for some guys, they feel like, yo, she don't have no right to touch me. So she touched me, then it's on and popping. That's some guys thinking, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny because having this conversation in different places, it will elevate you. Like, I had a conversation, like the whole barbershop was talking about this when I went to the barbershop, and some people were saying like, yo, sometimes I had to do, you know, you looking at people like you? But then it was so funny. It was so funny because somebody was like, you know, the ones in the NFL that is doing it because they be like, no comment.
Yeah.
No
That's
comment.
funny.
No comment.
They done it before. Yeah, that's real.
No comment.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like you said, I feel both sides. I mean, yeah, keep your hands to yourself type of thing. And I don't know if this is what Paul George meant. I'm not going to try to act like I know who he was talking about, but I can kind of understand it because my thing is, at the end of the day, regardless of what any of us say, if that's her decision, that's her decision. Like, nobody can make that decision for her. Like that's
Nah, because his face was like,
I mean,
I'm just trying to touch his mic.
oh yeah, I mean, because it's like I disagree. I feel like, yeah, she should be. I personally think, yeah, you shouldn't stay. I mean, after that, I mean, dude, like, I mean, he sidestepped her like she was a man.
yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like no nudge,
like
no
she was a
nothing. Like,
punching
I'm talking
bag or
about
something.
like he went in. So do I feel like she should have left? Of course. I mean, I mean, to protect. I mean, your safety. I mean, your life is. It could have went a lot worse.
Yep.
Like, he decked it clean in the chin, and then she hit the rail.
Yeah.
I think she probably only survived it because she was drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those It's like one of those things that. But at the end of the day, everybody like scolded her and saying, "Why is it like?" If she gonna be silly and stay in that, then she has to deal with that.
I don't think it's a matter of being silly as much as, I mean, she probably wants to be loyal to her husband, and prayerfully they have reconciled and been working on their marriage between then and now. But also, too, when you're dealing with an abusive situation, there's oftentimes a lot of mental and emotional abuse that comes into play too, where you start to begin to believe that you don't deserve anything better than what you're getting. And so you come up with excuses and rationalize staying in that relationship. And I feel like some of that is coming into play too.
So, question, because I felt like I asked the question and I heard this question too a couple of times. You know how there are couples who kind of reach their breaking point, but they can turn around and shift? Is as bad as this situation is, could that have possibly been like, okay, this is either we gonna shape up now, or it's, you know, could that be possible that she like is giving him that chance and it's logical, or is it because she's so battered that she just like, okay, whatever you say?
It could be either one, quite honestly. I mean, my prayer is that, you know, they have allowed God to come in their hearts and in their relationships so much so that he is able to transform and, you know, rebuild that relationship. But you just honestly don't know. You really don't know. Time will tell, because if this happened again, you know?
Well, here's the thing. This is the reason why everybody's getting in trouble. Goodell, because they felt like he was light on domestic violence. People like Stephen A. Smith and Paul George, because I don't think people understand the dynamics of domestic violence. When somebody said something that I thought was real interesting. A woman will defend the person who beat them, but they wouldn't defend somebody who stole their wallet. That's the difference between domestic violence and something else. So when Roger Goodell brings Ray Rice and his fiance into his office, and she's like, please forgive him, he's a better man now, it was a mistake, it was my fault, all that kind of stuff. First of all, she shouldn't have been there. Second of all, you got to
paper too.
You got to
Just lost $10 million
possibly, and you got to ignore what she's saying, because that's the nature of domestic violence. Number one, you don't know if he's threatening her at home, which is why she's saying what she's saying.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's threatening the daughter, why she's saying what she's saying.
Yeah.
You don't know if he has some sort of mental control over her. You don't know what's going on. So domestic violence, you cannot just say, oh, well, she's trying to work it out with him, so let me just leave it alone.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what everybody's missing. It's not just, oh, well, they trying to work it out, so just leave him alone. If he's abusing her, she will stay there. You saw Rihanna and Chris Brown. She kept going back and going back. Like, that's what abuse is. It's you love this person who's destroying you, and that's not okay. You know what I mean? Wow. So sometimes people need to be saved from themselves in that situation. And then the other thing with the punishment is just, I think the only thing Ray Rice could have done to help himself is if when he got the 2-game punishment, he said, you know what? even though y'all gave me the 2, I'm gonna just sit out this year because I don't think it was right what I did. That's the only way he could have saved himself from all this. Because if he would have done that and this video came out, it would have been like, dang, that's terrible. He was right. He need to sit out.
No.
Then he would have been fine.
No, it wouldn't have been that.
Not fine, but it would have been better for him.
But it would have still been backlash. Because I think what happened is this. At the end of the day, the video make it look 10 times worse.
Worse than what?
Worse than what people expected.
Yeah, but if a girl is lying on the ground, what?
You don't know.
Could have happened?
You don't know if she
she slipped
she
was
or whatever.
Dancing, she was twerking.
No, I mean, you don't know.
What could have happened?
I don't know, brother, like that. But I'm just saying, like you don't know the difference between how she got laid out.
Like, yeah,
you didn't know that.
Else can you get laid out?
I mean, I feel like, it's a couple things that you could speculate could have happened, like, from just passing out from being drunk. I've seen people pass out just from literally being drunk.
But here's the problem with Roger Goodell and the police. They knew that's not what happened. He told him what happened.
Yeah.
Other people told him what happened. The police report told him what happened. What else you need to see? I understand us being confused, but they can't be confused. They know what happened.
I mean, are you talking about he saw the tape?
No. Even if he didn't see the tape, if I say I punched my wife in the face and she fell and hit her head on the rail, what difference does that make between seeing the video?
I think I could tell you, example, I could tell you, when we got in the elevator, I kicked Ryan Righteous and he fell and he hit his head.
No, you didn't.
But if you've seen the video of me roundhouse kicking him and you like, roundhouse, that's really bad. You see what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
You kicking him in the face and him passing out is not as bad?
I mean, it's bad, but when you get the visual though, it's like a whole other ball.
Yeah.
Well, I think that this conversation has sparked a lot of people to respond why they stayed and why they left.
That was a hashtag going on Twitter.
It was a hashtag. And I think one of the things that a lot of people are pushing under the rug is, there's a lot of pride and her reasons for staying too. They have a child together. He is the Super Bowl winning star running back of the NFL, So you have a lot of reasons why she would have wanted to stay. I think that a lot of why she stayed are real practical reasons, man. Like, just in her mind, she's saying, all right, we got a child together. If I'm not with him, who is gonna be with him? It's just a lot of different things. He's a star. He's got money. I'll be set up for life, with him. It's just a lot of different things, and I don't know if
there's another thing that's important that I heard get brought up. Why a lot of this happens in Christian homes is because you're taught divorce is a sin, right? And it most people say the only excuse for it is adultery, right? So a lot of people feel like if you're getting beat down, that's not a good reason to get a divorce. Now, is that true? There's verses in the Bible that say something about covering your wife with your cloak and then something like assaulting her, something like that. There's allusions to abuse in a relationship causing a divorce under being okay as a Christian. So is that true, or is adultery the only reason for divorce? Because I think a lot of people are trapped in these things because they feel like they have to stay through it.
I don't believe God condones abuse under any circumstances. I mean, if you feel led to maybe be separated and see if it will work under counseling, but at the same time, you should not stay in any type of situation or environment or relationship that condones emotional, physical, mental. It's probably other types of abuses out there that I'm not listing, but any type of abuse, not just physical.
But is that, as a Christian, is that a valid excuse for divorce? Because divorce is serious.
It can be. I really do believe it can be, because abuse is detrimental to you as a person. It really is, and that's not a part of God's plan. Like, we are to be edified, not torn down.
Well, here's the thing.
Demolished.
Just in case you're a little more legalistic than that. Here's your out, just for you who are struggling with this. You don't have to be with the person. Let's say you just be married and you stay over there and that person live in this house.
That's why I'm saying separation.
Get
but
away
even
from them.
Still,
So just in case, because people really struggle with this. This is serious.
And I will say this though: don't just separate from the person and they stay abusive. Like you continue to stay in that marriage if they're willing to work towards being restored and healed. Not just I'm an abusive person, so we're gonna be separated the rest of our lives.
No,
like I don't
separate.
think that's healthy.
Here you go. Separate meaning get out of the house, take your children, get a restraining order, get away from them.
Yes.
Here's the thing, and this is what kind of helped me with this. If a guy would abuse you, what's gonna stop them from cheating if you're not around? So let's say you're still married and that person has moved on with their life. They got an apartment or whatever. They left them with the house or whatever. They gonna cheat. So I'm just doing this for people who are staunch. I am not getting the divorce if it's not in God's will. People, that's your out. You just need to get away from them and let time take its course. They gonna violate their marriage.
You're saying that's divorce ground for divorce.
Adultery is divorce for grounds.
But I'm just saying, what if they don't? Because some guys,
if they willing to do that, then they are crazy dude.
Some guys
just stay away from them.
Some guys are maybe just abusive, but they're not cheating on them.
So you think if you leave a abusive guy alone for 2 years, he not gonna have relations with nobody else?
No, I mean he's like, if I can't have you, nobody else will.
So you think they gonna risk their life? Yeah. But at some point you're gonna have to risk your life whether you get a divorce or not. At some point you got to get out.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, just in case you have a really, really, really staunch, I am not doing anything that's outside of God's will, even if at the detriment of my life, you at least need to get away from them. You could leave the papers the way they are and whatever else you want to do. They will eventually violate that marriage, and you can have peace in your heart that you didn't do anything wrong.
But my thing is, they may not do that. What happens if they don't do that? What happens if they want to work it out?
Well, then stay away from them. Just stay away from them.
What if they like, I got counseling, let's go. I want some.
You say no. You stay away from them. You don't have to go back in the house with them to be married.
I'm saying, but if they're trying to work on their marriage,
and you get away from them.
Oh, Sean,
get away from them.
Sean, that's a loophole because some people could change. Though.
If somebody is
man could change.
Well, then that's a bigger question. Then, if you are an abuser, if you go there, can you come back from that?
I think so.
You think you could come back from that?
You could come back from what?
Being an abuser.
I do believe you can.
Okay, how many times should that person get that chance?
Oh, I'm not saying.
Yeah, I mean, you should get like a whole bunch of chances, but I mean, like if we're talking about like Ray Rice, like with it being I feel it. I don't feel like that was a first run in the park in that situation.
First run in the park.
That wasn't a first run in the park on both sides. Now, I don't know how many times, but I definitely think there's a limit, and I think that at that level that is reached, that's it. Like, that's the cap. If now he's, turning his life over to God and opening up more and becoming a different person spiritually so that his mental is changed, I think, if there's really strength in his heart and he knows for a fact that he was wrong, that he never wants to do that again, and he wants to be restored, I think it's possible.
This is for the people who know that's crap and are concerned with violating the scripture. This is all that's for.
Right.
You know that they full of crap, and you don't want to violate the scripture.
How do you know that?
Right? How can you know that in every situation?
How do you know somebody is?
So you recommend that somebody continually go back?
I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm saying if somebody is saying I've changed, I'm getting counseling,
and they've said that
help
8 times before that.
What if he never said it before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying,
from that standpoint,
if they've said 8 times before.
Oh, then it's over.
Then
8 times?
What I'm saying is, if you now know that they're full of crap,
and they said it 8 times,
that's confirmed.
Okay.
You need to get away from that.
Oh, of course. All day long.
Just so
get away.
This is for people who may have
#get away.
Very I'm not doing nothing wrong because Jesus is my number one priority, even to my death. I'm like that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I get what you're saying.
I'm like that.
I get what
so for me, I need a biblical out, or I'll take any kind of.
Honestly, I don't even think you have to wait till they cheat on you. I think if they're abusing you.
Well, that's for people who don't buy that excuse. I don't see that in the Bible flipping through it. I need to see it to know that it's okay.
Biblical out.
Either 2 ways. You can see Jesus from his hits. No, seriously, I'm being honest. You can either see him, Jesus, quicker than you're supposed to see him. If you staying with somebody who's abusing you and you waiting for biblical reference, that's not. God is not going to allow you to. God is not going to put you in a marriage for you to get beat up in. That's not God. Period.
That's great. And this is for the people who have a problem with that. If you don't have a problem with that, do what Jeremiah said. For the people who have a problem, this is your out. I'm giving you a peace of mind out so you can get out of an abusive situation that you know ain't getting no better, no matter what they say. That's just for you.
Yeah.
So to me, somebody needs that because I know I would have needed that if I was in that situation. I need something. Give me something.
When are we going to talk about what if a man's getting abused by his
Because
woman?
it happened. You know, I kept asking that in class. You know, everybody in class going
Well,
hard, but
here's
there's
the thing.
guys that get abused in the same
I thought about
fashion.
that because not every dude is bigger than their girl. Let's just
Exactly,
say that
that's
straight.
real.
So if a dude is getting hit, like, and she got big fists, like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, what are you
So
supposed to
I think what needs to happen as well is people need to not be made fun of if I call the police and be like, yo, she is beating me down. They probably gonna laugh at him and probably arrest him some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that needs to be taken seriously because if I'm really showing restraint and she popping me in the face every 2 days, what you want me to do, people? You need to take me seriously if I complain about that. Because if you don't take me seriously, then we getting into some problems. Right. Then I'm gonna go to jail.
There's a video like that. That's why I brought that same exact thing up in class because I seen a video, and this guy was just eating these punches from this chick. I'm talking about she was chinning him up left, right, and he just taking. I was like, oh my God, like I felt like I would have lost it. Like, but it's like you said, that person gets clowned, that person gets laughed at. Nobody's out here protesting and hashtagging anything when a guy's taking them on the chin left and right 10 times, not just once or twice. Like, there's nothing for that. You know, it's a double standard in that situation. But I brought that up just because everybody's just going around. You know, I play devil's advocate, Jesus advocate. But you know, that was a question. Because I've known guys to get abused by their girls, and they in the same respect that they stay with them, or no, I love her. Oh no, she really loves me, and it's like she put her hands on you, bro.
When she drink whiskey, man, she gets strong.
Right, that left hand gets strong.
So what I'm saying is, people need to pay attention to that. But for the guy, my advice is, you still can't hit the girl.
Right,
you are not allowed.
I respect that guy
to hit women,
and he ain't try to do that.
Period.
Chris Rock said you can shake
Unless
you can shake them though.
They got a gun to your head and the bullet is coming out.
Just don't swing.
You can push her out the way. But you cannot hit these girls. It's not allowed.
Well, you said she got a gun?
Get out of the relationship if it's that bad. All right? You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.